And are you refreshed? Good. Now what?
Good morning.
It is?
I just would like to ask a question connecting with my job, with
Yes.
my work. So I've been very fortunate to move to America 20 years ago together with my wife, and we are ballroom dance champions. So we've been lucky early enough in our career to get to learn about the secret, and then 10 days after I got a book about Abraham. It was very helpful for our career. So now we are retired, and we are parents, and we're actually dance teachers. And I've been following a lot of your teachings about people that actually teach or healers, what your guidance is. And honestly, I applied very deeply in my teaching, and I consider myself successful, and results show it, that actually I focus on my students at what they're good at and their maximum potential of what they can reach as humans, as dancers, regardless of age.
So in a way, you are looking at the vortex version of them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And this works amazingly.
Yes.
I have students with not such good physical abilities, but when
Yes.
I look at them, at their positive stuff, at their vortex ability and
Yes.
maximum, it works. Now, my issue is whenever I'm positive and I'm making them aware of their goodness, there is still this moment where I have to guide them that they actually have to learn to put their body in the right position. Sometimes weight loss has to be addressed. Sometimes issues that are a little bit hard for them and might sound harsh should be addressed in order long-term success and happiness for them to be achieved. So I need guidance. What should be my correct words in order to bring to them the best they can be in the long term?
Well, you said two different things to us. Part of it, we sort of put an assumption of our own into what you were saying. We just want to make this clarification. You see their potential, but you also see their current reality. So which is it? Here's the thing. You cannot be in this physical body without observing the things of a physical nature. It's perfectly logical. It's where the new ideas and the new desires come from. But here's the key. If you will just make sure that when you speak, you are in the receiving mode before you speak, then you will always be speaking from the framework of who they really are and what they really want. First of all, you'll be tuned in, tapped in, turned on, because you're looking for the success. You're looking at who they really are. And by making sure that you're in that satisfied, not dissatisfied with them, but satisfied with them vibration, then the words that are inspired to you will more likely be more better received by them. They won't take it as criticism when you join everything that they've put into their vortex about what they want and their inner being's perspective of it and your inner being's perspective of it. When that's the vibrational stance that you have as you are expressing to them, the likelihood of helping them rise to seeing that too is greater. And so one of the things that we've said to parents over time is talk to your children as much as you can, but only when you know that you're in alignment. Well, those sound like funny. Talk to them constantly, but only when you're in alignment. And so it's the same sort of thing. Be clear that you are in alignment. Just make sure what you're under the influence of. Are you under the influence of who you know them to be and their state of becoming, or are you under the influence of what you're seeing right now? Just make sure of what influence you're under before you speak, and you'll see. And you're already doing that because they're catching the vision of your vision. That's why they are believing more in themselves than they have.
So for me, it will be very easier to relate if there was not a competition aspect to my business, but actually all the competitors, they go to a competition where the people go first, second, first, fifth, sixth, 20th. So when it's a competition aspect, then what is the right vocabulary to take the competition aspect away and actually really make them focus on the best they can be?
Here's a perfect way for you to look at this. We really want you to hear this from us. The only thing that you have any control over is your own vibration. As a teacher, it's a strong tendency to want to be affecting the vibrations of others. And of course, that's what we do as uplifters. That's the whole point of it. But If you will just let what you're interested in and what you care about be your own alignment, then the words will flow forth from you in an easier way. Competition is an interesting thing because it creates desire. It certainly causes desires to be born that in many cases would not be born without it. This subject of competition may be the best conversation that we could have here today or ever about the balancing of energies, because it has within it the potential for things wanted and unwanted, because it launches the desire, and when focused upon it, it can really call you forward in a really life-giving way. But it can also thwart you as you look at what is, which is not where you want to be, and therefore activate those vibrations that keep you from being who you really want to be. Jerry, Esther's dearly departed and not so departed, for many years before Esther knew him, was an entertainer. And then in the last part of those entertaining years, he was a master of ceremony for shows that were shown around the nation. And he talked about one of the entertainers who was named Woo Woo Stevens. And Woo Woo Stevens played the banjo and sang and couldn't do either one very well. But he didn't know it. And because he didn't know it, no act could ever follow him. Everyone just wanted more woo-woo, more woo-woo, more woo-woo, because his belief in himself and his alignment with source, and therefore his entertainment value, and therefore his attraction value, was so enormous that even though technically he wasn't very good at what he did, the energy blast that everyone received, and there was the confidence that he felt, was intoxicating. He would end, he said, woo, 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 woo. He would say, that's Jerry. Jerry wanted you to know that. So, of course, as a teacher, you want to do your best to instill confidence in others. And you really can't instill confidence while you're pointing out flaws at the same time. You just have to decide what matters more. What matters more to how you feel and what matters more to how they feel. And here is a very common flawed premise, because most people really believe that in order to get people to do what they really need to do, that you have to make them aware and you need to prod them and poke them and that sort of thing. In other words, it's more about motivation than it is about inspiration. But it is our promise to you that you are in the work of alignment, and you know that from your own exposure to your career. You know that alignment must come first and everything else will follow. And so what is more beautiful than someone being in alignment, and being inspired from that place of alignment? And of course there are absolutely physical skills that you are teaching them. You're teaching them steps and movements. You are encouraging them into endurance and stability, and you are fostering the physical nature of their physical bodies. Of course you're doing all of that, but the thing that matters the most of all is their alignment. And so we know it's why you're asking the question, how can I guide them without seeming critical? How can I guide them toward what I believe they need to know without diminishing their connection to source energy? And we say, you really can't. You really can't approach it in a physical way. You can go so far. What we know you know, but we think it would be helpful if you would help them know. It's what we want all of you to know. It's the thing that we talk about all day, every day. It's the only thing that really matters to any of you. It's your relationship with your own inner being, not your relationship with your audience, not your relationship with the judges, not your relationship with anything. Nothing else is anywhere near as important in terms of priorities as your relationship with your inner being. And so if you'll just ask yourself on a really regular basis, especially before and during the time that you're interacting with them, first, what's my relationship with my inner being right now and with my vortex? Do I feel satisfied, or am I feeling unsatisfied? Am I feeling critical, or am I feeling impressed with improvements? In other words, what is your state of satisfaction? And then the next question to ask before you ever say anything to anyone is, Is what I'm about to say going to enhance their relationship with their vortex or be a disadvantage to it? Am I soothing them? And here's the flawed premise. Most people fear that if you soothe people, if you soothe them when they clearly don't deserve to be soothed, because look at them, then you're sort of missing the whole point of what alignment really is. It's about vibration, and everything else follows. And so as you foster alignment, the beauty of them, the finesse of them, the talent of them, the timing of them, the precision of them, all of that follows that, you see.
You see, for me, when I'm doing my teaching, I got a student with a very limited abilities, and I apply 100% your teaching. Even I look at your videos, and I was taking notes about the vocabulary that you use,
Yes.
and it worked. Actually,
Yes.
that student was 5 times national champion. She did amazing. But then the fact that I was so positive reinforcing her and making her bubble of dance more than it is, or actually being more than reality, what happened in the long term,
Oh,
she got
but-
so much fear of she has to prove that high standard.
That's why you want to make certain that she understands what the true game is. It's about alignment. It's about your relationship with you. It's about how you feel. It's about your personal advancement and progress. In other words, these are the words that we really, really want to say. We've been wanting to say them for a very long time, and you really, really want to hear them, and you are asking for them, and oh, we're out of time. Right here. This is so important and so right on point. Satisfaction is why you're here. You came for joyous creation. So satisfaction is why you exist at all in this leading edge time-space reality. Hear it? And the only place that satisfaction comes from is you launching a desire and moving in the direction of it. Satisfaction doesn't come from giving the judges what they think they want, because they're fickle, you know that. Satisfaction doesn't come from pleasing an audience, because they can be fickle too. Satisfaction comes from one place and one place only. Satisfaction comes from one place and one place only. That's you moving in the direction of what's in your vortex. You hear that? That was so good. We so want you to hear that. So let's hear it for satisfaction.